welcome to the IROC 3, a third year IROC, or third season of IROC. We've had 3 races in 75, and then Daytona would have been in 76, which would have been the last race of the season, of the schedule. This race is Michigan. Real life would have been 50 laps, we did 30 laps, pretty much about half. Really, it should be 25, but I don't think there was an option for 25. But we were in the number 20 car, which is the player's car when you get this mod, which is the IROC 76 mod from DMR. And we used the NR mod scoring thing that they have, which is very useful for this, since I didn't want to make a whole career thing for it and I have only one set of cars. I was able to change cars and have them somewhat realistic to the real races. So as you see, first lap, and we're going to cross the line after passing a pretty decent amount of cars already. With 9th there, passing 3 cars out of all the 12 cars that we had. Or actually, this race we had 13 cars. The next race was only 11, and the last 2 were 12. I don't know what happened with the first Riverside race, but the second race was perfect. As you see me taking the lead there. But obviously get it taken back as you see him come back up on me. I believe that's Hunt. And there comes Petty. These two were the only ones able to even like race with me, as you see the big gap between them and everybody else behind us. As we get next to Hunt there, James Hunt, with Richard Petty in the lead now with about 5 to go, and this is where this race goes to hell pretty much. Because we were doing really well, and then I come off of turn 2, got a little too close to James Hunt, but then I happened to notice that he started turning into me, and I started turning away from him, but it was just too late. And I don't know if it's this lap, you're going to see it. No, it's not this lap. We're going to show you on, I think it's 4 to go when it happens. But as you see me trying to go around the outside of James Hunt, doesn't work because this track actually does pretty good racing, honestly. Doesn't do too bad of a job for racing. As you see Richard Petty taking the lead, and then you see just barely in the mirror everybody else. Surprised I didn't get exactly last in this race. I thought it was going to be even worse, but not that bad compared to what it could have been. And then you see with 3 to go is I'm close to him, and then you see him, he turns into me, and I started trying to turn away, but it was already too late. Get a little airborne there, you can see the rear end get a little light, and I tried to save it, but I had too much right hook there, and brought it back up towards the wall. And luckily, since there was more cars after this pack that got kind of split off, and also I had to manually throw out the caution because for some reason they didn't think that was a caution, or wasn't worth a caution, which was kind of stupid, but you know, you get what you get, I guess. Especially got what I got. I mean, I didn't really mean that for it to happen, but it just happened anyways. That's pretty much all these races, pretty much. The last race at Daytona in 67 was the only race that I actually had a decent shot and decent chance, while every other race has been kind of just a disappointment, pretty much. This race was going to be good, and then coming off turn 2, as you're going to see here in this replay, you're going to see where Hunt just comes up a little much. I know he's trying to get ready for the corner, but like it's not cleared. And I was trying to turn up while he's turning, but he was already turning too hard to the point where, you know, I can't really do much there. It's just gonna, eventually we're gonna come together. It's kind of just how it is sometimes. Like right here, you can see me start to turn right as he starts turning into me. You see him turning, and you see me try to turn away from him as he starts turning, but it's too late already. So then I try to strain out, but should have probably kept it to try to keep the wheel to the right, because if I kept the wheel to the right, it would have probably stayed on the wall instead, or at least had more of a chance of getting straight. And then here I should have probably kept it more center and with the wheels so they could stay straight. As you see the car get a little light there throughout the grass there, bumping around. And then this ends under caution, as you can tell, because it was 3 to go. So of course it's going to end under caution. And then we're going to finish 8th, which again, I was surprised I was going to finish 8th and not completely last, but I was going to take it either way with Petty winning, Hunt 2nd, Foyt 3rd, Fittipaldi 4th, Parsons 5th. You got Andretti, Allison, me, Unser, Redmond, Scheckler, and then Pearson, David Pearson last of the 12 cars in this race. Actually, there was no 13 cars. This was the only race with one less car. 13 cars was because I believe it was Bobby Unser only ran one race. And some guys kind of switched throughout the season. That's really what happened. Is we're in Riverside for the first race. This race would have happened the day before the next race, so October 25th and then October 26th, I think, of 75. As you see me, we spin out of control, go off in the dirt, and that automatically screws our race for the 7-lapper, which is both races are 7-lappers. As you see, it took us a long time to get to the pack, and it really screwed us. And then the next race, it happened later in the race, which had no return, pretty much. We had no return at that point. It was really disappointing. It was also kind of just annoying at this point, and next race at that point. There to go, and you see me finally passing some people, and you can tell, as you see there, it's only 11 cars. I mean, that probably helped me a little bit in points, but I don't know why it was only 11 cars. I thought I had a perfect 12, but I guess not. Yeah, it was this stretch. These first three races were weird, and then the last race was the only normal one that I had, really. So then we're on the last lap. You get by the 2 car. I kind of use the dirt a little bit, but you know, it's pretty common in the 70s and 60s for everybody to use the dirt. I mean, if you ever seen that 1970 footage from Riverside, from either event, them just straight up cutting turn 6, it's insane. And then people going off during the S's and just straight lining it. People crashing because they're trying to cut the corner. It's chaos. And then there I overshot turn 7. Almost got turned trying to get back in line. And I was trying to get these two, but I wasn't going to make it in time. And eventually we just end up in 5th, which honestly wasn't the worst outcome ever. It was probably the best outcome out of that race. If it wasn't too bad, we could have possibly won. Especially if we didn't wreck at all, we would have easily won that race. With how close up we were here at the end of this race. So we're gonna come off turn number 9 and finish the first Riverside race of 2 in this IROC season. And here we go with the second one the day after. You got Al Unser next to me, David Pearson in front of us with Bobby Allison next to him. As we get going here. This race looked good at the beginning because we didn't wreck at the beginning. We actually, you know, settled in a little bit. But then eventually we just get wrecked once more. And, you know, couldn't really recover from that. You got see us in 7th there. See, we're making some good moments and passes here. As you see us trying to pass Benny Parsons there in the 10 car, and then we come up to James Hunt, who we've raced against before and got into an incident at Michigan with. You got Emerson Fittipaldi.
Clear.
One of those names where I actually confused. I can't even say it correctly because a lot of our names are probably easier. I cannot pronounce whatsoever. It's definitely a speech impediment thing. I said speech, of course, speech impediment. Also, I'm pretty much done at this point in our races. The community really kind of driven away from me, or I've driven away from it, especially with the track crews, because we don't even have a new roll now. We were gonna get one, and then people just have to shit on people so then we don't get into a roll. And then here's James Hunt dumping us, making us go hard in the wall in turn 9, and then we get going again. Lose so much time, and I think we actually finished 11th. It was either 11th or 10th. It was not in the single digits at all. It was very poor. It was 11th because the 5 car wrecked out, or didn't wreck out, but they went off earlier in the race. And then we're going to come by, as you see, Andre was going to win, Scheckler in second, Fittipaldi third, and I'm going to be 11th. Foyt was going to get last because he went off earlier during the race. He got Redmond in front of us. Al Unser, David Pearson, Bobby Allison, 9th, 8th, and 7th. As we're just pretty much done at that point. We were just like, you know what, might as well hit the wall if I can't make it around the corner. This wouldn't even, like, this race here was where we pretty much finished. It really was like what made me finish in the point standings where we did. Because if I didn't win this race, I was going to, first of all, be mad. But in the sense of helped in points, even if I didn't win, but if I finished great, I wasn't going to be that mad. As we get going, this race was hard. Like, drafting was hard in this race. It was very difficult. It wasn't as easy as some people would think. It wasn't just flat out. I mean, it wasn't flat out in the sense where the car could get loose. The car was very free, and I like that because I like when AI has to move around, fix where they're at. I have to move around, fix where I'm at, and try to actually control the car. I don't remember if I know we did cause the crash. I think.
Still there. Clear.
And right here, I think this is Hunt again, trying to pretty much hook me, and I somehow saved that one. I thought I was gone at that point, and then we got. There was in the 7th car, and he got Petty in the 11th car. That car was pretty prominent during this whole entire race, pretty much, because I was around him throughout the whole race, pretty much. Also, not to mention, it's 20 laps. A little less than in Michigan, but that's because there was there were less laps in this race compared to the Michigan race in real life, and there's where it happened. Don't remember who it was. They come back up, get hit, go upside down into the wall, and then I didn't even see Petty there, and then we almost wrecked Petty. That was almost too bad. That was almost two very bad things happening at once.
Okay, we're under caution. Stay behind the 11 car. You're now in 3rd.
So then we slow down, we get woe down, as I would say. And then we're going to see what exactly happened. So we're 3 wide, I get around Petty on the inside, and we're now side by side. I think it's Emerson. I can't even really tell because, again, I'm looking at a small screen while I'm doing this. And then we just come up too much, but at the same time, he kind of comes down a little bit. Then he goes around, comes back up front of that red car. He goes upside down big time, and pretty much takes out 2 cars there with Allison there. And that, I think that was a 9 car, I can't remember. Or I can't see. Speech, man. Speak correctly. This is us coming back to green, which is a very strung out process, because I didn't edit this correctly. I mean, it doesn't really help, or it doesn't really bother me. Because at this point, in the championship, I knew I was going to win the championship. I just wanted to win a race, and that's all I cared about. I was like, as long as I can win the race, I'm fine. Not to mention the fact that we are all in similar cars, and that's probably what's making this race the hardest race I've ever ran at Daytona. Honestly, like every other race was hard. This race was, Jesus. The only reason why I won this race is because of this restart here. This amazing restart, getting around the outside of Petty and then going around the inside of, I think that was Diarbro, it said. And then with 5 to go, as you see here, I'm kind of just pre Dale Earnhardt, pre-modern era, or pre-nowadays super speedway race where you gotta block. I'm blocking the hell out of people. And then it comes up to this moment where I almost lost it off before switching back up the racetrack the way I did. Right there, it kind of settled, and I was like, woo, that was close. And coming up to the white flag, this is the lap where, honestly, I didn't even have to block that much compared to the other laps. It's almost like they actually did lose momentum eventually. So here we're down this front stretch. That wasn't really a block, it was more of him just not wanting to make a move yet. We going through turns 1 and 2, they back off a little bit, trying to build a run. And then the one block I do down the back straightaway was the pretty much nail in the coffin, as nobody else was even able to get close off of turn 4. And really, it wasn't even a block either. I was barely coming up. He could easily switch back down, went through the inside. But then, you know, as you see, the whole lane, all the lanes kind of just stalled out. And I even like let a inside lane open, and he couldn't even build a run. So we eventually went a race, but we didn't win a championship, obviously, because we just had too many bad runs and we wrecked too many times. And by my fault and not my fault. 2 times not my fault, 1 time my fault. And then you see here, James Hunt won the championship with Jody Scheckler in 2nd, Richard Petty 3rd, me in 4th, Fittipaldi, Parsons, Foyt, Pearson, Redmond, Allison Andretti, and then the 2 Unsers, Al Unser and Bobby Unser, rounding out the championship with Bobby Unser only running 1 race, Al Unser running 3 races, and Mario Andretti winning 3 races as well.